I'm Chris. Welcome back to Bitcoin Whale. Bitcoin's at 63,146 today, up $200 from yesterday. $200. When a market goes that quiet, it isn't resting, it's coiling. There's a tool on this chart right now that's been quietly flagging this buildup, and today I'm going to walk you through it. Let me start with the ceiling. This descending resistance line has been capping every rally since the highs. Today, it comes in at 67,566. More than 5 clean touches on this line. Every time Bitcoin has reached up and tagged it, sellers have shown up on cue. That's not noise, that's a wall. And the floor is rising the whole time. This ascending support line, built off the 59,131 low, sits at 61,509 today. More than 5 touches here too. A falling ceiling and a rising floor. Bitcoin is in a symmetrical triangle, getting compressed toward the apex. Here's the tool I want to teach today, Bollinger Bands. I'm adding them to the chart now. Upper band, 64,185. Lower band, 60,823. The midline, the 20-period SMA basis, is at 62,504. Now look at the distance between those bands. The width right now is 5.4%. When Bitcoin is trending hard, that number is 10, 15, sometimes 20%. At 5.4%, the bands are practically hugging the candles. That's called a Bollinger Squeeze. Volatility has been wrung out of the market, and the bands are contracting around price. Here's the simple rule. After a squeeze comes an expansion. The bands widen, price picks a direction, and the move happens fast. The triangle shows you where the breakout levels are. The squeeze is telling you when it's coming. If knowing when a setup like this is loading before it fires is the kind of prep you want, subscribe. I build these charts fresh every morning before the open. The resistance overhead sits at 64,235. And notice it's almost exactly where the upper band we just mapped came in at 64,185. 2 independent tools, $50 apart, pointing at the same ceiling. First test of that zone will be telling. Here's a detail I find striking today. The volume point of control, the single price where the most Bitcoin changed hands across this entire range, is 63,157. Bitcoin is at 63,146 right now. We're parked virtually to the dollar at the market's equilibrium price. Neither side has conviction yet. This is where the base for the next move forms. The 20 EMA is at 62,873 right now, sitting just below current price and acting as dynamic support on every dip. As long as 4-hour candles keep closing above 62,873, the short-term structure stays intact. And just above the 20 EMA, there's a dense cluster of measured support levels converging at 62,922. Multiple independent measurements pile into this tight zone. Lose 62,922 on a 4-hour close, and that cluster has failed. The squeeze is resolving downward. 3 scenarios. Base case, Bitcoin holds the 62,922 cluster. The triangle tightens and the coil breaks upward. Bull trigger is a 4-hour close above 67,566. That punches through the descending resistance and targets 83,353. Bear case, a 4-hour close below 61,509. That cracks the rising floor. The squeeze resolves down, and we're looking at 45,723. Third case, and honestly most likely in the next day or two, we stay inside the triangle. No trigger means no position, just patience. Let me drop to the 1 hour for the trade. I'm looking at a long entry at the 63,000 level, right on the demand zone we've been building this whole read around. Stop is at 62,370, below the structure. Target is 64,890. Risk reward on this setup is 3.0, $3 a potential gain for every dollar at risk. The position is mapped out on this chart. If today's breakdown gave you a cleaner read on what's actually building in this chart, a like tells me to keep doing these. Helps more than you'd think. That's the full picture. Volatility near a multi-week low. Price at equilibrium. One wall breaks first. 67,566 up. 61,509 down. Those are the only numbers that matter until the trigger fires. Back tomorrow with fresh levels.